Yeah, I have written a few books along the way, and the main one I've talked about is Taking Charge on my Taking Charge podcast. This is John Olson, your host. This is Taking Charge. It is about my life. It's about everything I've done and in my life, in the Navy, my marriage, my divorce, and learning, good learning and going to college, getting two separate degrees, and what happened to me after life. I mean, after my divorce, and after I got out of the Navy. You can pick this up at 2020literary.com or amazon.com. And the winning mindset for life and business, you can also pick up at 2020literary.com and amazon.com. It is about what I learned in about finances in after the 2008 housing crisis. Over that time frame, I wanted to know more about finances, investing, and because I had gotten myself into trouble with credit. We studied somewhat of it in high school, but like anything else, it goes through one ear and out the other. Well, I found myself in trouble several different times, and I had to file bankruptcy along the way. So I wanted to know more about that. But then I always fall back into that trap. Is what. And my financial journey, you can pick up at amazon.com, and I got something coming up with it. I will reveal on down the line when it materializes. It covers protecting your money, leveraging money, financial statement. Further, it's always good to further your learning in on that subject and making more money. The, it helps making more money in passive um, assets. And passive assets are like writing a book, which I enjoy. Writing a book it's a pastime. It's something I enjoy. It's like building things out of wood. I enjoy that. Things that can make money on down the line. It helps. This is Taking Charge podcast by John Olson. Um, what are those key moments in your life that you can point to that played a part in your life? There's two parts. There's two uh, points well, mainly I can point to in my life that played a key role in my life. It was a conversation I had with my guidance counselor during um, high school. I was always never a very good student. I didn't take um, academics seriously in high school and that, but I did later on. And there was another key component point that I had in later on in life during college. Went to college. That was a conversation I had with my dad, and I write about it in Taking Charge. Those two key points that you can learn about there. The winning mindset. I I write these books. I enjoy writing these books. I like to share what I learned from different books. I like to learn. History was always one of my better subjects. Government was one of my better subjects in high school. I excelled at those particular subjects more than I did anything else. And that was one of the, it was good, but yet it was bad because other parts of school I didn't take seriously like I should have. And The Winning Mindset is another book that I wrote, and it covers the mindset, strength of character, strength of brand, strength of network, communication. Communication was a big one that I wrote a lot of. I concentrated more on it than I did a lot of the other areas because communication runs up and down uh, the spectrum from top to bottom, and the little things, it don't matter if it's real small or big. Those little things always count. I found that out in the Navy. If you missed one little thing in the Navy, it could cost somebody his life, especially in the area of that I worked in, which was aviation. I worked on jets, worked on aircraft parts. My vision was what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish later on in life. I I missed teamwork, camaraderie was the two biggest things in my life. Then I wanted to learn about finances. Finances was a big one because, like anything else, it is something that can get you in trouble. So, Olson Financial Journey, my financial journey, was my take on a book that I read by Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki wrote about finances, financial IQ. It's something you need to learn and continue to learn about because you can fall back into those traps. And believe me, I fell back into those traps a few times. And I still, fall back into those traps. And my financial journey covered how to protect your money and budget money. Budget was a big failure, always a big failure for me. And I need to learn how to more budget my money more than I do. Leveraging money, that's basically using other people's money. Financial statement is your scorecard. What about the state of your finances? Further, you're learning and making more money. Making more money is basically doing things that you love to do. I like writing these books. That's something I enjoy. Building things out of wood is something I like to do. I enjoy it. So do what you like to do. Enjoy it. Make it your passion. And you'll enjoy it better when it's your passion. And I want to put in a plug for Bone Frog Coffee Company. Bone Frog Coffee Company is a Navy SEAL founded and owned and operated coffee company, like a Black Rifle Coffee Company is another veteran coffee company. I'm just going to put in a plug for them. I don't get paid for them. I just put it in a plug form. bonefrogcoffee.com is where you can pick up Bone Frog Coffee. I just I was served in the military. I'm a veteran, and I support veteran-owned companies, basically, and that's my passion too. This is something I should have done a while ago, especially after talking to a lawyer about the two books that I had wrote, Taking Charge and The Winning Mindset in Life and Business. And after I found out from the lawyer that I would never be getting any royalties from the sales of those books, and I was supposed to have gotten a five-figure payoff on a number of books that was going to the seller of books, I think from Australia, I think, that he was handling. But in the long run, if you purchase any books, any Taking Charge or Winning Mindset book, I won't see the royalties for those books. Only the publishing company and that will see any royalties from the book. The only books I will see royalties from is the few books that they sent me initially when I published the book with them. Those are the only payoff I will receive from any of the books that I published with them. I should have done this a while ago, and that's my fault that I let this go on for too long in the long run. After I consulted with the lawyer about it. Changing the name of this podcast not to give light to the name of the book that I had wrote that I was using to title this podcast. Yeah, that name will soon be done, so as not to get attention to the book that they will be benefiting from, and they're still being sold on Amazon and all other booksellers that handle books for sale. Figure out a way to sell those books on either eBay or sell them over on Facebook at least one way. And I will let you know and take either through eBay, the purchase price of the book, which will be discounted for what they wanted for the book, and also over PayPal. You can send money to me through PayPal once I decide how to sell those books, and I will also be signing those books for those people that purchase at least these copies of my books. And once those are gone, they're gone. I'll have no other tie to those books. I'm reclaiming those books through another publisher, and I will be done with the previous publisher of those books.